All praise the how about Shemal Shah, double line to the apostles and masters. I'm Naba Allah coming at you with the video. And this video came to me through the spirit. I think I was in my car driving the other day, and I just thought it came into my mind. I was just saying in my mind that Yahweh Shah is gonna show us the way. You know? That's what the spirit just had me say in my mind. So I said, you know what, why not do a lesson on it? So that's what this video is going to be about. The Most High is going to show us the way. This is the book of St. John chapter 14 verse, let's see, St. John chapter 14 verse 1. It says, let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me. Okay? Because the time was going to come when Yahweh Shah was going to go back into his Father. So Yahweh Shah is telling the disciples. Matter of fact, let me go to the 13th chapter real quick. So if you go to the 13th chapter of St. John, St. John 13:1, it says, now before the feast of the Passover, when Yahweh Shah knew that his hour was come, that he should depart out of this world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end, talking about the disciples. Okay? The elect of Israel, but beginning with the disciples. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. So you understand this is what's going on at the Passover. Yahweh Shah, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands, and that he was come from the Most High and went to the Most High, he rises from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. Let me jump down, because I'm going to go right back to the 14th chapter. I just want to understand that this is taking place during the time period of Passover. So as you read on, Yahweh Shah speaks of the one that's going to betray him, which is Judas Iscariot. And when you go to verse 13:36, John 13:36, Simon Peter said unto him, Lord, or Yahweh Shah, which is the one in the world called Jesus Christ's name in Hebrew, Yahweh Shah, Lord, whither goest thou? Yahweh Shah answered him, whither I go, thou canst not follow me now, but thou shalt follow me afterwards. So where he's going, you can't follow him now, but you shall follow him afterwards. You can't go with him now because why? Now there was approaching a time when Yahweh Shah was going to be delivered up by the Jews to be crucified. So you couldn't go with him now because it was not yet for the time for the Apostle Paul to die. It wasn't time for that. Okay, it wasn't time for that to happen. So basically, what happened was he was telling the Apostle Paul, "It's not your time yet, but thou shalt follow me afterwards," because the time was going to come when the Apostle Peter was eventually going to die. But Apostle Peter had work to do. How do you know that? You got the book of Acts. You got the First Peter, the first epistle of Peter, the second epistle of Peter. Okay, so the Apostle Peter had work to do, so he couldn't have been taken out of the world right at that point in time. Peter said unto him, Lord, why cannot I follow thee now? I will lay down my life for thy sake. Yahweh answered him, wilt thou lay down thy life for my sake? Verily, verily, meaning truly, truly, I say unto thee, the cock shall not crow till thou hast denied me thrice. So it was time, and if you read it further on to the Gospels, it speaks about when the Apostle Peter had denied Yahweh Shah 3 times. But let's go to the next chapter. So now you understand what's going on at this time. So now let's go to chapter 14, St. John 14:1. It says, let not your heart be troubled. You believe in the Most High, believe also in me. So let your heart be troubled because Yahweh Shah is saying that he had to go to the Father. Because he said, where I go, thou canst not come, but you shall follow me afterwards. So he was going to the Father. Yahweh Shah was going to be crucified, he was going to die, and he was going to go into the heavens, going to the spirit world with his Father. But Yahweh Shah is telling him, don't let your heart be troubled. Don't be of a heavy heart or a heavy mind. Don't worry. You believe in the Most High, believe also in me. In my Father's house there are many mansions. Right, in the Most High's house there are many mansions. And where's the Most High's house? The heavens, the spiritual world. Okay? That's the Most High's house. But in the Most High's there are many mansions. Meaning there are other mansions. There are other heavens, if you will, so to speak. there are other mansions. What's a mansion? A mansion is a home. So in the heavens, when I say other heavens, I don't mean like there's one heaven where the Most High is, there's another heaven somewhere else. You have the first heaven, which is known as what? The firmament, which is the Earth's ozone layer, or the Earth's atmosphere. You have the Earth's atmosphere, which is known as the firmament. Then you have the first heaven. Then you have the second heaven, which is known as outer space. That's the second heaven. And then you have the third heaven, which is where the Most High and the angels dwell. All right? And when you die, that's where your spirit goes. So Yahushua said, in my Father's house there are many mansions. So there are other abodes, other dwelling places. Okay, so there's other dwelling places in the heavens. And where are those other dwelling places? Other planets. Because the first heaven is the firmament. You can read about that in the book of John, in the book of Genesis, the first chapter. The firmament was known as heaven. And then you got the second heaven, also known as heaven, which is outer space. And the third heaven, as the Apostle Paul spoke about in the book of Corinthians, where he said he was caught up in the third heaven. He was caught up in the third heaven, I believe mentioned 14 years ago. That was during the time when the Apostle Paul was stoned. He actually died, and the spirit went to the third heaven and went to the spiritual world. So that's the third heaven. So Yahushua says, in my Father's house there are many mansions, saying in my Father's house there are many other abodes, other dwelling places. In other words, other planets. And that's what we're going to be at. Because you got to remember, the kingdom of heaven is for the nation of Israel. And the Most High created the nations to be fruitful and multiply, but predominantly Israel. Okay, because we produce more children than others. So if the kingdom of heaven is going to be forever, even forever and ever and ever, as the scriptures say, our rulers will be forever, for all eternity, that means we're going to continue having children. And eventually the time is going to come when everybody's not going to be able to dwell on earth. So what's going to happen? We're going to have to go to other planets. And as time passes, we're going to go to other universe. We'll go to the multiverse. Because the kingdom of heaven is going to be a perpetual kingdom, a continual kingdom. The Most High doesn't have planets out there just for show. They got the word mansions in the Greek.
Strong's G 3438.
Mane. It says a staying, abiding, dwelling, abode, to make one's an abode, metaphorically, of the Most High, the Holy Spirit, indwelling believers. But that house, but those many mansions, as I already mentioned, it's talking about other dwelling places. There's the word house in the Greek.
Strong's G 3614.
Oikia. A house, an inhabited edifice, a dwelling, the inmates of a house, the family, property, wealth, goods. So let's go back. So it says, my Father's house there are many mansions. If it were not so, I wouldn't have told you. So if it was not so, if what I said it was not true, or if it was not true that my Father's house had many mansions, remember the Most High's house, or his dwelling place, is heaven, the third heaven, which the Most High, his name is Yahweh, which means he to be, or he is. The Most High is omnipresent, so the Most High is actually everywhere. With all honesty, the Most High is actually everywhere. He's omnipresent, meaning he's present everywhere. But that third heaven, where the angels are, and where Yahushua is right now, is the third, and when the Most High is, ultimately that's the third heaven. Because the Most High does have his own dwelling place. You read about that in the book of Revelation. And then you have, so that's known as the third heaven, the second heaven, outer space, the first heaven is the firmament. So those, in the Most High's house, the Father's house, there are many mansions. There's not many mansions in the firmament or the atmosphere. You can't live on the atmosphere. There's nothing there for you to dwell on. The purpose of the atmosphere is to protect the people on earth from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. We're not going to actually live in the third heaven where the Most High is, where the angels are, and where the spirits go after they leave a person's body when they die. So what's the other heaven we're going to dwell at? What's the other mansion, the other dwelling place? If we're not going to dwell in the third heaven, we're not going to dwell in the firmament, but the earth's atmosphere. The other dwelling place is talking about the other planets that's in the second heaven. The other dwelling places. That's where we're going to be at. And there's pictures on that, but due to the interest of time, that wasn't really the point I wanted to get to. I might do another show on that in a little while. It says, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, you may be also. So Yahushua is saying, if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, you may be also. So where Yahushua is, so Yahushua is preparing a place for us. Okay? Yahushua is preparing a place for us, that where I am, you may be also. And Yahushua preparing that place for us, that's a place, because Yahushua is saying he's going to go and prepare a place for us. I mean, this was going to happen after he had died. And what did Yahushua do when he died? When he went to the spiritual, what did he do? Yahushua loosed the seals on a book. He loosed the seals on a book, meaning what? He opened up our understanding. That's how the scriptures speak about in the book of Luke. I believe it's the last chapter. It said, then he opened up their minds. I believe it said, then he breathed on them, that they may know the scriptures. When he opened up their minds, they may know the scriptures. I may not be quoting verbatim. And that happened when Yahushua died. That's when you go to Revelation, the 5th chapter. In fact, I'll do that in another lesson. Lord will. I'll go into another lesson on that. But that's Yahushua preparing the place for us. Okay? They may be there also. Because why? We're joint heirs with Yahushua. It's Yahushua's kingdom, but we're going to be joint unto him. We're going to be joint heirs. And heir, I believe it's spelled H-I-E-R, and heir is the person that's next to rule. So we're joint heirs with Yahushua. It's Yahushua's kingdom, but we're going to be joint heirs with him. We're going to rule alongside of him, the children of Israel, beginning with the elect, of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans based upon your father's line. And whither I go, ye know, and the way ye know. Thomas said unto him, Yahushua, ye know not whither thou goest. We know not whither thou goest. And how can we know the way? So we don't know where you're going. How can we know the way? If you're going somewhere and we can't go, because remember, he said that to Peter in the last chapter. We just read it. St. John 13:36. He said to Peter, where I go, you can't come, but you're going to follow me afterwards. So he's saying, if you don't know where you're going, how are we going to follow you? How can we know the way? Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So Yahushua is saying, I'm the way, I'm the truth, I'm the light. I mean, you got to follow me. I mean, you got to have faith in me. You got to believe in me. You got to do my sayings. You got to keep my sayings unto death, so that you may go where he is, which is ultimately alluding to what? The kingdom. Because when we all die, we go to the spirit world. Even the other nations, even the heathens, even Esau, the so-called white race, Edomites, which Esau is the so-called white man who brought forth the nation of Edom. When they die, they go to the spirit world. So he's not, and they're not keeping the sayings of the Lord. So obviously, when he's saying he's the way, the truth, and the life, he's the way that we got to travel, or the way that we got to go in order for us to get to the kingdom. Let's go that word way. That's going to Greek.
Strong's G 3598. Hadass.
Properly. Hadass says properly, a way, a travel way, road, a traveler's way, journey, traveling. Metaphorically, a course of conduct, a way, i.e. manner of thinking, feeling, deciding. So Yahushua is that way, that travel way, that way we got to travel. Okay, that way we got to journey through. But metaphorically, a course of conduct. That's how I mentioned what? Through the Spirit of Yahushua, I mentioned what? Keeping his sayings, having faith in him. A way of thinking, feeling, deciding. So scripture speak about having the mind of Yahushua, right? So you understand that now, right? Let me get the scripture real quick. As a matter of fact, let me continue here first. St. John 14:6. Yahushua says unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So don't go come to the Father unless you come by Yahushua, man. You can't just go to the Most High. You got to go through Yahushua first. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 2:16. For who hath known the mind of Yahushua, that he may instruct him? But we have the mind of the Most High, of Yahushua. So who have known the mind of Yahushua, that we may instruct him? But we have the mind of Yahushua. So we don't have the mind of the Lord that we can instruct the Lord, but we have the mind of Yahushua. Why? Because Yahushua said, him and his disciples are one. Let me get that real quick. St. John 17:21. St. John 17:20. There's a lot of scriptures here. I'm going to St. John 17:21. That they all may be one as thou, Father, art in me. So that the disciples may be one as the Father is in Yahushua, and I in thee, that he is in the Father, that they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. So the Father is in Yahushua, Yahushua is in the Father, and we're one with the Father and Son, meaning we're all in one agreement. Alright? Let's go up here. St. John 17:11 says, and now I am no more in the world, but these are in the world. And I come to thee, Holy Father, keep through thine own name those whom thou hast given me. His own name. His name, the name of the Father is Yahweh. Keep through thine own name thou whom thou hast given me, that they may be one as we are. Does it mean that there's one disciple? That they may be one even as we are? No, it literally means that there's one disciple. That they may be one, meaning of one accord, of one mind, of one agreement. Even as we are, meaning even as Yahushua, even as the Most High and His Son, Yahweh and Yahushua are one in agreement, in one accord. Alright? Of one mind. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one even as we are one. That's just in John 17 and 22. And the glory which thou gavest me, I have given them, that they may be one even as we are one. And I in them, and thou in me, that they may be perfect, that they may be made perfect in one, that the world may know that thou hast sent me, and hast loved them as thou hast loved me. Alright? That's good right there. Let me get some. So this is all Yahushua just showing us the way. Check this out. St. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Most High, and the Word was the Most High. This is talking about Yahushua. In the beginning was the Word. That's how you read down to the chapter in the 15th verse. St. John 1:15. 1:14, excuse me. It says, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. So the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, meaning Yahushua represents the Bible in the flesh, meaning he's a physical embodiment of the Word. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. So it says, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory. The glory as of the only begotten of the Father. Who's the only begotten of the Father? Yahushua. Who's the only begotten of the Father? Yahushua. Alright? He's the only begotten of the Father. Okay? So you know the Word being made flesh and dwelling among us is talking about Yahushua. Full of grace and truth. I can go into more into that, but that's the point I want to get there. But the point I want to get to right here is St. John 1:4. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. I think I'll read down. Keep reading. Verse 2. St. John 1:2. The same was in the beginning of the Yahushua. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything that was made. So all things were made by Yahushua, and without him was anything that was made. Okay? And without him was not anything that was made, meaning Yahushua created everything. There wasn't anything that was created that wasn't created by Yahushua. So really, it was the Most High who commissioned Yahushua to create everything. The Most High didn't do anything at all himself. He just gave the order. Yahushua, Most High created Yahushua and the rest of the angels. Most High created Yahushua, and Yahushua in turn created the rest of the angels. And Yahushua and the angels in turn created everything else. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. So Yahushua being light shined in darkness. Darkness represents ignorance. Okay? With that, I gotta close, brothers. My phone about to die. Some say, oh, praise Yahweh, Shem Shah, the last positive GMS. I hope brothers learned something. Shalom.